the transistor circuit. One is the base bias, right? And second one is what? The emitter, the bias, the transistor circuit. And then today we're gonna learn about the what? The voltage divider bias, the transistor circuit. Okay, so today we learn about the voltage divider, the bias. We learned before 3. Okay, so and then I share with you the how. Do you have the homework paper or no? Just the homework. Okay, I'm gonna share with you. Let's say.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Oh, okay, all right. It's good. It's good. Maybe until the next Monday. Okay.
This is the homework due next Monday?
Yeah. Well, next Monday.
On the 10th.
Yeah.
This Monday?
Yeah. Actually, that was the quiz, but I think I was changing. You understand what I mean? I mean, why? Because I'm gonna help you. So this is why.
Sure.
The quiz, you have a lot of the memorize. It's very hard, and then I do not want to skip that questions before the second exam because that is really helpful for you. So this is why. Okay. Yeah. So don't say stressful. I know, but you have to do because really good chance for you. Okay. Yeah. So we learned about the base bias, emitter bias. For this week, Wednesday, we're gonna learn for the voltage divider, the bias as well. So today, I'm gonna just print out for the 29, the page 29. So let's say, okay, so we learned before the voltage divider rule here. This is P sub CC. That was the R sub C here. That is the NPN transistor. NPN transistor. You know, that was the R sub E. Okay, and that was the ground. And the voltage divider base bias is the is really most widely used bias in circuit, but the base current contains the voltage divider. The voltage divider means, oops, this is maybe R sub 1. And that was for R sub 2. Okay. So now, oops, right there. That point is B. That point is E. And that point is C. So one more time. That was the voltage divider rules by C, the collector, D is the base, E is the emitter. Okay. Any questions so far?
No.
All right. All right. So all right. So now I will change the color. So for example, that part is V sub BB. What is the V sub BB? What is the V sub BB? So we learned before R sub 1 over R sub 2 over R sub 2 times V sub CC, because can you see that right there? 3, 1 plus minus plus minus. Okay, that was my ground here. So that point here, okay. So the V sub BB is R sub 1 plus R sub 2 over, R sub 2 over R sub 1 plus R sub 2 multiply V sub CC. Okay, all right. So we will try to the sample exam, sample exam for the voltage divider biases the circuit. Okay, so for example, that was, I'm gonna more in maybe enlarge the circuit. That was the 12 volt. Okay, so R sub C, 3 the kilo ohm here, and R sub E is what? 1.3 volt. And R sub 2, we assume that that was the K ohm, and R sub 1 is what? Is, we assume that the given value, the 10 kilo ohm. Okay, I'm gonna the marking to make more enhance right there. All right, that was the given. Okay, and then second approximations right there. So the V sub BE, 0.7 volt. Okay, so step by step, very important. And then now from today, now I will give you one sample exam that is really similar to the homework 2. I'm sorry, maybe homework 2 or maybe homework 3. Okay, so really be carefully listen and writing what you want. Okay. All right. So the question 1. Okay. What is V sub R2? What is, what is the V sub R2? So V sub R2 is R sub 1 plus R sub 2 and R sub 2 multiply V sub CC. Okay, so R sub 1 plus R sub 2, the 10K plus the 20K, the over, I'm sorry, 2K over 2K multiply the 12 bar. Okay, so that is what? The 2 ball. The answer is like the 2 ball. So means, I'm gonna the another color here. That was what? The 2 ball. Okay. Any question? Okay. So the second one here. Okay. So V sub R2 is equal to the V sub B. So the V sub B right here. Okay. Is like the 2 ball. And then what is for V sub E? So the V sub E is like this one. Oops. Let's say like this. Here. Oops. Here. That was the V sub E. Here. The V sub E. Okay. V sub E. So the V sub E is V sub BE. I'm sorry. The V sub B minus V sub BE. Why? Because V sub BE, the V sub B minus V sub E. Are you agree with me like this one? Oh, I'm sorry, just like this one here. Here.
So it's 1.3 volts.
Yeah, yeah. So the V sub B, the 2 volt, and the V sub BE, the 0.7 volt. So the V sub E, 1.3 volt. Okay. Same questions, the homework. Okay. Any question?
So VR2 is equal to VB.
Just right there. Okay. Okay. Very the
They like, are they parallel breaks? Is that why they're equal to each other or?
yeah.
Okay.
Here. Here, Nathan. That is the VB. That is the V sub R2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Got it?
Gotcha.
V sub B, V sub R2. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's what you see like that.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Thank you. So this is why. And then the question 4 is for, let's say, what is the I sub C? We learned before the V, D, B case. Maybe I sub C is almost equal to I sub E. Go back to the circuit, just right there. So oops. So that was the I sub C. Oops. That was the I sub E. That was the I sub B here. So VDB case, I sub B, very small. Very small. So I sub C is approximately, it's like the same as the I sub E. Okay? Where just like this one here. So we calculated I sub E. The is what? V sub E divided the R sub E. Go back to the circuit. Just right here. Here. So V sub E, we calculated from the question 3. Oops, right there. 1.3 volt. The divided 1 kilo ohm. So maybe I sub E is 1.3 the milliamp. Why? Because it's divided the kilo. 1/1 kilo, that is the milli. Okay. All right. Any questions so far? Maybe even Hollis is fine. Are you sure, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the question 4. Oh, I'm sorry. The question 5. What is for the V sub C? The V sub C is like this one, okay? That is for the V sub C. So the V sub C is what? V sub CC minus I sub C times the RC. Okay? V sub CC minus I sub C RC, that is the V sub C. Okay, so go back to the circuit right there, V sub CC minus I sub C RC. So V sub CC is what? The 12 volt, and I sub C we have already calculated 1.3 milliamp times the RC. The RC is the kilo ohm here. So the after we calculations, that was the what? The approximately 8 the 1 volt. Okay. All right. So what is for V sub CE? What is for the V sub CE? Oops. V sub CE is V sub C minus V sub E. Okay. V sub C minus V sub E. So the A point, the 1 voltage, and then the V sub E, we have already calculated 6.8 volt. Okay. Here, see like this one. Okay. So the finally V sub CE is, I'm sorry, the V sub E is for what? The 1.3 volt. So now V sub CE is 6.8 volt. Okay. All right. Any questions so far? Okay. So now the question 7. What is the distribution power? The distribution power is I sub C times the V sub CE. The I sub C we have already calculated 1.3 milliamp multiply 6.8 volt. And finally, that was 8.84 milliwatt. Okay. All right. So last one is, what is I sub C saturation for the voltage divider base bias transistor circuit? So that was R sub C plus R sub E, or V sub CC. So that was the 12 volt, 3 kilo ohm plus 1 kilo ohm here. And that was what? 3 milliamp. Okay. Don't forget it to get the I sub C saturation. I sub C saturation. Okay. So now, the questions for VDB. So please draw the root line. Do you remember we learned before the load line? Okay. If you see the quiz, homework, lab, the exam, I will ask you to draw the road line. You have to writing what is x-axis, V sub CE. What is the 0? What is mega I sub C? Something like this. Okay. You have to draw the marking. That is I sub C, the saturation. Okay. And then that was what? V sub CE, the cutoff. Okay. V sub CE, the cutoff is like the same as like the collector supply voltage. So that was the 12 voltage. Sorry, right there. Oops. That was the 12 voltage. That was the 12 voltage. And the I sub C saturation, like this one, was 3 milliamp. And what is like the Q? The Q point is I sub C and V sub CE. We have already calculated the I sub C and V sub CE. V sub CE 6 point. Oops. V sub CE 6.8 voltage, and let's say and I sub C is what? 1.3 milliamp. Okay, so the Q point, I might be able to ask you in the exam. The Q point is what? I sub C and V sub CE. So I sub C is 1.3 milliamp, and V sub CE 6.8 volt. That is for the Q point.
Yeah, I have a question,
Yes, sir.
because I thought the VCE cutoff was equal to VCC.
Yeah.
Is,
Yeah. For voltage divider by a circuit, by a transistor circuit case, yes.
Okay.
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 All right. Any question? All right. So I will